Hey everybody, this is Chapter 3, Section 3. Title is Solving Inequalities Using Multiplication or Division. Starts on page 178. Once again, the steps in this section are going to be the same as they were before. What's my variable? What's being done to it? What's the inverse of that? Do the inverse to both sides and simplify. There is one major difference in this section that a lot of people make a mistake on. These are all going to be multiplication and division problems, and we know that the inverse of multiply is divide. The inverse of divide is multiply. When you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, you have to switch the inequality symbol. Okay? When what you do to both sides is multiplying or dividing by a negative number, you switch the inequality. Okay? We'll have a couple of those in this section. In this problem, what are the solutions of c divided by 8 is greater than 4? C is my variable. It's being divided by 8. The inverse of dividing by 8 is multiplying by 8. So I need to do that to both sides. Multiplying by 8 and dividing by 8 cancel. And I get c is greater than 32. I need to graph that. My number is 32. I need a number on each side. There's no equal part, so I have an open dot. My variable's on the left, so I do what the arrow tells me. The arrow points to the right, so I shade to the right. Okay. What are the solutions of this inequality? N is my variable. It's being divided by negative 3, so I need to multiply by negative 3. Now, what I did to both sides, I multiplied both sides by a negative number. So, multiplying by negative 3 and dividing by negative 3 are inverses, so they cancel. I have n left. Negative 1 times negative 3 is a positive 3. I multiplied both sides by a negative number, so I have to switch the inequality. The inequality was pointing to the left. Now it's pointing to the right. 3 is the number I care about. I need another number on both sides. There's no equal part, so open dot. Sign is pointing to the right, so I shade to the right. Okay, the key with that one, I multiplied both sides by a negative number, so I have to switch the inequality. Word problem. A student club plans to buy food for a soup kitchen. A case of vegetables costs $10.68. The club can spend at most $50. What are the possible number of cases the club can buy? So I'm trying to buy cases of vegetables. So C stands for cases. Each case is $10.68. So I do 1068 times C. One case would be 1068, two cases would be 2 times that, so it's multiplication. At most, $50, okay? So it can be equal to 50. Can it be bigger than 50? No. Can it be less than 50? Yes. So I need less than or equal to 50. Okay, there's my equation. Now I solve it. C is my variable. It's being multiplied by 1068, so I have to divide by 1068. Do it to both sides. Those cancel. $50 divided by 1068 gives me 4.68 cases of vegetables. The store isn't going to let me, sorry, I turned that into an equal sign. The store isn't going to let me buy 0.68 of a case. So I need to figure out how this answer makes sense. I don't have enough money to round up to 5 cases. So I'm going to have to round down instead. Okay? So C has to be less than or equal to 4 cases. Again, 4.68. Normally the 6 would tell the 4 to round up to a 5, but if I round up, I don't have enough money to do that. I would be over my $50. So that's why I have to round down to 4 instead. Another problem, what are the solutions of negative 5x is greater than negative 10? X is my variable, it's being multiplied by negative 5, so I need to divide by negative 5, both sides. Negative 5's cancel, I get x. On the other side, negative 10 divided by negative 5 is positive 2. Again, I divided both sides by a negative number, so I have to switch my inequality. It was pointing to the right, now it has to point towards the left. 2 is the number I care about. I need at least one number on both sides. There's no equal part, so it's an open circle. My variable is on the left, so I can look at the arrow. The arrow is pointing towards the left, so I shade to the left. Remember, the whole key to this section, the number that you multiply or divide both sides by has to be negative in order for the sign to switch. In this last problem that I have here, 3x is less than or equal to negative 9. Okay? X is my variable. It's being multiplied by 3, so I need to divide by 3. Now, I have a negative 9 in this problem, but what did I actually do to both sides? The number that I used on both sides was a positive 3, not a negative 3, so my sign would not switch. Just because there's a negative in the problem doesn't mean you have to switch the inequality. It's whatever you do on both sides. And in this case, the thing that I did to both sides was positive, so I leave the sign alone. This one doesn't tell me to graph, but I'll do it anyway. Negative 3. Don't forget to get your negative numbers in the right order. This one does have an equal part, so I'm going to shade in my dot. Variable's on the left, so I can do what the arrow says. Arrow's pointing to the right, so I'm going to shade to the right. Or sorry, left. This is left. Okay? Don't forget, in some of your practice problems, you're gonna have fractions in them. Don't forget, you're not allowed to divide by a fraction. Instead, you have to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay? Don't forget that. You can ask me if you need to. Practice problems, page 181, 7 to 13 odd, 19 to 31 odd.